Hello, welcome to Closing Chapters, Everyday Real Estate Tales. I'm your host, Brittany Fry. I'm a realtor, I'm a military wife, and I'm a mom. Join me and come transaction by transaction throughout my real estate career starting back in 2016 to hear about the highs, the lows, and the unexpected turns along the way through all of my customers. It's going to be a crazy ride, you guys. I am so excited to share the past, the current, and then what's coming in the future. Hang tight for the ride. Join me about being a realtor, a military spouse, and a mom. Can't wait to see you there. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is December 27th, 2023. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas, had some great time with friends and family, maybe a little time just to sit back and relax just for yourself. That would be fantastic. And that you are recovering well. I know the holidays can be really busy and we can get spread thin. So I hope that you are well. I want to talk to you about my next transaction that I had in 2017. It was a really cute little house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet over in Twin Lakes neighborhood. Had a 2-car garage. It was a brick rancher, which for Sumter, South Carolina, that is the traditional housing. Was the older housing was all brick ranchers. And I'll tell you now, I used to think that I wanted a 2-story house. We are now in a 2-story house, and my theory was everything would stay upstairs. I needed to stay upstairs, the chaos, the mess, and then I could keep downstairs nice and neat and happy, right? Not the case. My whole entire house is a hot mess most of the time, and it's really hard to keep everything separate, especially when you have kids, because they need a play area regardless of where you're at. So what we've ended up doing is duplicating a lot of everything. We have a play area, a changing table downstairs. We have a play area and a changing table upstairs. The list goes on. So anyhow, I would love the opportunity to get back into a single-story house. So now when I get to talk about these single-story houses, or I'm getting to show them, I am taking notes and figuring out what it would look like for my family, how I could situate my belongings. I just sold a house here recently that was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths on the main floor, and then a bonus room over the garage. And my husband and I both were in the house a lot between doing open houses and just helping the sellers do a few things. And it was just like, man, we could do this. This would be a really nice layout. We can see everybody. Everybody has a spot. So it was really interesting how your perception can change quite easily. So anyhow, this house didn't take long to sell. It was about 43 days from time that it got listed to the time that it got closed, which is fantastic. And it's because it was priced right, folks. This house was 1,600 and some change square feet. It sold for $133,500. Did you hear that? $133,000. Once again, this was back in 2017. This just goes to show, no matter what the market does, it's going to ebb and flow a little bit, but it's going to gradually always appreciate. So as long as you're willing to hold on to a property for 5 to 10 years, you will always be okay. You'll always get your money back. So anyhow, this property, we got it on the market. It was really good. It was in pretty good condition, not super updated, which is part of the pricing, but a great entry-level home. And that's exactly what it ended up being, was a good entry-level home for a VA family that was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base. Now, we haven't had very many conversations about what it's like to work with agents on the other side. In this transaction, the buyer's agent was absolutely the cool guy. He is known in Sumter to be one of the cool, slick agents that's just like fun. Cool as a cucumber, party guy, doing his thing, usually on the golf course, a lot. And that was definitely the case throughout this transaction. This can be good and bad all in the same time, right? All in all, it was a fantastic transaction. We got to the closing table, no problems. What did happen, though, is that little Brittany, young, naive Brittany, ended up pulling a lot of the weight on both ends of the spectrum. Not only was I co-listing it and doing everything on the listing side for a very medial price, just to get the experience, on the buyer side, I was dragging this agent along. You would call him and he'd say, "Oh, I'm on the golf course. I'll call the lender later and try to get a hold of that for you." And eventually just became like a, "Hey, why don't you just introduce me to the lender
let me just do this for you. I ended up doing a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the checks and balances on both sides, which is okay. It got the deal done, right? And this was also a case where it was really good to have friends around handy. If you know a little bit about me, my husband was a plumber in the Air Force for 13 and a half years. And so his whole unit was either plumbers, HVAC, dirt boys, which is like construction, road work, that kind of stuff, or woodworking guys. So I had quite a few handy people at my disposal if I asked nicely. And thankfully, we were kind of selling on a little bit of tight margins and a tight time frame to get the repairs done. Because once again, my darling friend agent on the other side a little bit delayed on getting us the repairs and wanting everything done very quickly. So sometimes it becomes quite challenging to get everything turned around. Now, when we talk about the repairs, it was like clean out the gutters, reattach a gutter spout, those type of things, right? So very easy, quick tasks. So I was very blessed and lucky that I had a guy. And you'll know throughout the theme of my real estate career and even now, that's always, my saying is I've got a guy. No matter where we go, what we do, I've got a guy. And if I don't, I'll find you one. I have a huge network of people everywhere that have contacts everywhere. And one of the huge blessings about working in a bigger real estate office in both South Carolina and Tennessee is we have quite a few builders in each office, which means you have a ton of contractors at your disposal. And a lot of people that you can run ideas by, get a little bit of approval, get, like some eyes on something. And that can be super helpful in real estate. So before you just decide that it's okay just to go to one of these one-stop shop online brokerages, that is going to pay you a little bit more, make sure you have the foundation and that you have all your people in place. If you were ready to like open your own brokerage and do your own thing, okay, maybe that's a good fit for you. But overall, if you're not in that place or you're starting out, especially in a new area or just as a new agent in general, I would highly suggest making sure you are part of an established real estate company that has a lot of those connections already within the community and will share with you. It's a beautiful blessing. So we got our last minute repairs done. My buyer's agent probably closed from the golf course, let's be honest. I don't think his folks were even here quite yet. And we got the deal to the closing table. So sometimes they can be really nice, sweet, easy deals. And that was the case with this one. The only thing that was a little bit difficult is the sellers were already moving out and, so they were in a crunch to get it closed. So we were very amicable with negotiations. So not only did we sell it for $133,500, but we also gave them $3,500 towards closing costs credit. So the buyers really made out well on this house. If they ever resell it, they're going to have a great investment in this property. And I hope that they recognize that. But I am truly blessed to have been able to help with this. And once again, another listing under my belt. And we know what we say, listing equals stability. I'm all about the stability, baby. So thank you so much for the opportunity to co-list this property. Thank you, buyer's agent, for pushing me and helping me learn more about how I communicate effectively, how I can get a handle on things on both sides, regardless of the scenario, and make sure that we get to the closing table in one piece. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great New Year's, and I sincerely apologize for sounding like a frog today. Our whole entire house is under the weather a little bit at the moment, and I am currently the only one that is awake because, mummies never stop. So I was blessed to get a shower all by myself and put myself together and have a moment to come and join you, which makes me happy. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you on Saturday.